Hey moms, welcome back. I'm so excited that you're back for stage two of my Warrior Flow series. If you haven't checked out stage one yet, you might want to check that one out first, although we are going to repeat all of those postures during our second phase of this flow. Um, but check it out. It's only 10 minutes long, and you can get a good little warm up and introduction to some of the warrior postures in that first video. Stay tuned for part three, where we will finish off with with the more advanced warrior postures when we get to it. So if you watch stage one, you kind of already know the deal. This is great for anybody who's interested in vinyasa flow yoga. You're probably familiar already with some of the warrior postures. If you're new to yoga, welcome. There are so many different warrior postures. It could be overwhelming and intimidating. So I'm hoping that this little mini series will give you something to work with. Plus, I just think warrior postures are fun. So if you're looking to get a little movement into your morning, movement into your day, get the heart rate going a little bit, you're in the right place. So not much of a warm up. We'll go through a couple rounds of a stretch and a sun salutation, and then we're going to dive right in with what we covered last time, and then advancing it, adding on a little bit. Okay, so let's start. You might want a block for this one, or two blocks. Just have them handy. You never know. Doesn't hurt. No shame in the game. Props are super helpful, and I have definitely, worked with my fair share of yoga students who think that using a block is kind of like a cop out, my husband included, and it's not. Okay, props can enhance the workout for us. It can give us a deeper stretch, make us feel a little bit more supported, and even just make some of the postures more accessible. So you'd be surprised what you can actually accomplish with blocks. So that being said, let's start standing on our mats. Somewhere in the middle is totally fine. We're just going to get some stretches going to begin with here. Okay. So when you're ready, let's start in a nice, strong mountain pose. Okay. Checking our alignment, shoulders stacked over hips, over knees, over ankles. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, open the palms up, engage the core, maybe tilt that pelvis just a bit so you can feel that low core engagement. And we'll start with just some side stretches. So inhale the arms up overhead. Maybe drop your right hand to your right hip, and let's just take a nice side body stretch here to the right side. If it feels okay on your neck, maybe glance up towards the ceiling. And when you're ready, we'll switch sides. Left hand to left hip, reaching over to the left side. And let's flow that a little bit. So inhale, we reach up. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stretch. Inhale. Exhale. I think you get the idea. Last time, bring the arms up together. Let's just take a little back bend here, not too far, okay? But bringing your arms up overhead, keeping the hips forward, and just kind of bringing your gaze towards the back of the room and start to feel that bend in your spine. And nice and slow, come back up, hands to heart center. Beautiful. All right, so let's get into our warrior flows, starting with a little review from stage one, okay? So starting at the top of your mat, again, keep the blocks handy. Use them as necessary, could potentially be used for our extended warrior, possibly our triangle posture, but it's totally up to you, totally your call. So standing with our feet about hips distance apart, show me that beautiful mountain pose again. And we'll take it breath to movement. So when you're ready, inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Take a nice step back with that left foot for our warrior one. Nice soft bend in my right knee. And one more breath in here. Exhale, opening up to that warrior two. Feeling that nice opening of the hips. Flip the right palm, inhale, lift up, peaceful warrior. And coming back through our warrior two, we reach overhead, extended side angle. Lifting back up to our warrior two. Tilt those right toes forward so they're parallel with the mat. We're going to switch right over to the opposite side here. So stepping in with that right foot, lifting the arms up overhead for warrior one on the left side, left toes forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, opening up for that warrior two. Flipping that left palm, inhale, lift up, peaceful warrior. And as we exhale, coming forward for our extended side angle. Rising back up to our warrior two, parallel the feet, fold forward in our wide leg forward fold. And maybe bring some movement this time. Shifting your weight from one foot to the other, kind of like little side lunges. And let's walk our hands back to the right side of our mat, stepping forward with the left toes to meet the right. Inhale, we rise up. And exhale to heart center. Beautiful. All right. So we'll move on to our second stage, which incorporates a couple more postures. We'll also add in a little bit of a vinyasa flow in between, just to get the heart rate pumping a little bit more and get a full flow going for us here. So let's open up in that mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Take that step back with our left foot, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, open up to that warrior two. Starting very similar here. So this should feel pretty familiar. Notice how my lower half has not changed, okay? So we're keeping everything nice and steady in the lower half. Flip that right palm. Inhale, lift up for that peaceful warrior. Exhale, coming back through warrior two for our extended angle. This is where I said a block could come in handy. Instead of placing your forearm right onto that inner thigh, you could bring a block right next to your foot, inside your foot, outside your foot, or maybe bringing your hand all the way down to the mat and kind of using your arm to open up that hip a bit more. Reaching overhead with the left. Rising back up to our warrior two. From here, straighten out that front knee for the first time. Reach forward, gazing over your right fingertips, and drop that right arm down to 6 o'clock. Left arm rises up for our triangle pose. Again, great posture for a block. Front of your foot, maybe behind, or just reaching down towards your ankle. Making a nice strong triangle with your body. Rising back up, soften that knee for our warrior two. Stepping forward back into that warrior one here for a moment. And getting ready to take our first balancing posture. So before we get to it again, you might just want to set your blocks up. I'm going to put mine on their tallest height for this. And then rejoin me in that warrior one. Start to come up onto those back tiptoes. Bring that right foot, keep the right foot right where it is, but straighten out your knee and start to hinge forward. This is a bit of a balancing posture. And if you just want to stay right here with your left toes kind of anchoring you to the floor, that's a great place to start. Or maybe start to lift the toes up just a bit, engage the core. And essentially, we want to keep that left foot parallel with keep the left leg parallel with the floor. And engaging the tummy. Find a spot on the floor to bring your gaze to. Maybe extend one arm up. Maybe extend the other. And this is our warrior three. So wherever you are in this posture, bring that left foot back, nice and gently, controlled. Bring the hands down to frame your right foot. Swing the right foot back and we'll take our first vinyasa. I'm going to start on my knees, inhaling in your modified plank. Exhale, we lower down. Move my blocks out of the way. Inhale, lift for baby cobra. And on the exhale, I'm pushing up through that plank into our downward dog. And just stay here for a breath. Walk your feet to meet your hands in a forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise all the way up, and we're back to our nice strong mountain pose. And that was round one. Stay right where you are. I'm going to switch sides just so I'm not turning my back to you. So opening up in our mountain pose, we'll move on to the opposite side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Rising all the way up, warrior one. Take a step back with the right toes. Left toes forward this time. Big breath in. And on the exhale, we open up to that warrior two. Taking a moment here, checking your alignment. When you're ready, flip the palm. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, coming back through warrior two. Again, bringing the left forearm to the inner thigh, or maybe grabbing a block. Not too much weight in that left hand, just fingertips helping to support. Rising back up to our warrior two, straightening out that front leg, reach forward, and tick-tocking the arms back down, 6 o'clock for our triangle pose. And try it out while you're here. Block in the front, block in the back. Play around with the different heights, whatever feels comfortable for you. Soften that knee, come back up to our warrior two. Move that block out of the way. Pivot your right toes back towards the top right corner and start to straighten out that left leg as you come up onto your right tiptoes. We'll take that balancing posture once more, our warrior three. So as your right leg lifts, again, maybe you have your hands on blocks, just for a little bit of balance, bringing the ground a little bit closer. Maybe one arm up, maybe both. Maybe you find that you have better balance on one leg than the other. I know I do. And nice and slow, controlled, we start to drop the right toes back down to our warrior one. Exhale the hands down to frame the left foot. Left toes come back. Let's take our vinyasa. Exhale, coming all the way down to the mat, or maybe we take an upward dog this time. Inhale, and exhale, coming back to our downward dog. And stay here for a breath. Start to walk your toes up to meet your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale through center. Beautiful. So you now have learned all the movements. Let's go through it one more time on each side. This time we'll flow breath to movement. Okay? So opening up in that mountain pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Arms extended. Stepping back with the left foot into our warrior one. Big inhale here. And exhale, warrior two. Flip the palm, inhale, lift, peaceful warrior. And exhale, coming through warrior two to that extended side angle, your variation. Inhale, back up to our warrior two, straighten out the right leg, reaching forward, and exhale, triangle pose. Rising back up, soften that knee, pivoting the left foot back to our warrior one, and start to shift that weight forward. Option for your blocks. Option to keep your left toes on the floor, but finding that balance. Nice and slow, controlled, left toes come back down. Exhale the hands down to the mat, right foot comes around. Inhale in your plank, exhale lower. Inhale, lift, upward dog, and exhale, downward dog. Staying here for a full breath. And then walk, step, or jump your way to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Coming back to that mountain pose. Last round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up. Taking a step back with that right foot, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, opening up to our warrior two. Flip the palm, inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, lift to that warrior, straighten the left leg out, reaching for the front of the room. Exhale, triangle pose. Full breath here is fine. Kind of feels good to just hang for a minute. Soften the knee, come back to our warrior two. Closing the hips forward again, warrior one. Straighten out that left leg. And just start to tip forward for our balancing pose on the left side, warrior three. Nice and controlled, we lower the right toes down. Exhale the hands to frame the foot. Stepping back to your plank or modified plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, downward dog. Combining my words here. And let's just stay here for a few breaths now. Let's start to let the heart rate slowly lower. Drop the knees, bring them to the outer edges, big toes to touch. And let's take a nice child's pose. And take a moment to see how that felt in your body. Hopefully got your heart beating a little bit. So do yourself a favor, stay in that child's pose for just a little bit longer, for a few moments. Let the heart rate slowly come down. Maybe take one more breath. And then rise up and join me in a seated posture. Bring the soles of your feet together in a bound angle. Sitting up nice and tall, feeling that good stretch in the hips. An option to stay right here, or maybe drop the head down, feel a little bit of a deeper stretch. I'm taking a moment to catch my breath too. One of the joys of warrior poses is they get the heart rate up pretty quickly, so you might be feeling it a little bit. When you're ready, let's nice and slowly lower down onto our backs. Bring your feet to the outer edges, let your knees knock together. Maybe bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And just feel grateful for the work that you just did, for this time that you gave to yourself. For working to improve your warrior postures, your practice, or maybe just finding the time for yourself today, whatever that means. An option to stay right here. Maybe let your legs hang out long. Maybe bring your arms to their sides and take a nice savasana. If you have the time to stay here in this relaxation, restorative posture, please do so. When you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe shake your head from side to side. Bring your legs together, reach your arms up overhead, give yourself a nice full body stretch. And when you're ready, take a few rocks. Bring yourself up to a seated posture. We'll close out with one nice big breath together. So when you're ready, inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, let it go. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for stage 2 of the Warrior Series. I hope that you were able to advance your practice a little bit. Feel free to take this class again, really perfecting those postures. Stay tuned for stage 3, which will incorporate just 1 or 2 more warrior postures. We'll put the whole thing together, get you a nice, good workout. In the meantime, please, please, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I really look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. So comment, let me know what you like, what you don't like. If there's something that you want to see, I'm happy to work it in for you. Okay, moms? Thank you so much for joining me again, and have a great rest of your day.